Everybody's stopping by TC Live, including this woman who had never won a Grand Slam match until she got to Melbourne last year, and she won 5 on the trot. The American put the tennis world on notice, making the semifinals at that Australian Open, and she's been a fixture in the top 40 ever since. And we are very pleased to welcome American Danielle Collins back to TC Live. Danielle, great to see you. Hi. We did get to see you. Hi. We saw you a little bit at the UTR matches last weekend, but other than that, tell us how you've been getting through this whole hiatus down in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, it's some crazy times that we're living in, and I think it's been frustrating for all of us tennis players because we're so used to traveling and constantly being on the road and doing cool things and getting to experience so many unique things as athletes, especially playing in front of fans. And so now it's just been so different, just being at home and not being able to travel, not being able to play in front of fans. And yeah, it's been a bit of an adjustment for me, but I'm also enjoying getting to have some time at home.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things for players is that, you know, you're so used to being on the road week in and week out, and just the thought of not knowing when your next event was going to be, you know, has been tough for a lot of players. But what are some of the positives? Have there been some new things you've been able to do? I know at the end of the year when we talked, you were working on a few injuries, a few things that were nagging. You know, has that helped you to kind of get fully back? And, you know, how are you feeling in that sense?
Yeah, I think it's given me some more time to kind of heal properly from the abdominal tear that happened back in Melbourne in January. But overall, I've been feeling pretty healthy overall. And so I would ideally like to be playing tournaments right now and making money. But unfortunately, that cannot happen at the moment. I'm really looking forward for World Team Tennis to start up and for the event in Charleston to take place at the end of this month. So hopefully by August, you know, the WTA tournaments can start up again and we can go back to normal.
Well, you were able to participate in the UTR matches over the weekend, getting back on court, getting into some live match situations. How did that go? How did you feel about your game, and how did that help in terms of going forward?
Yeah, it had really been about 4 months since I had played a competitive match. I've been practicing and training a lot at home, and I was happy to finally get out on the court and be able to be in that competitive match mode. I think it was a little bit rusty and kind of shaking off some of the rust on court, especially serving. But yeah, I was just really looking forward to being out there and competing again and doing what I love. I haven't been able to do that in months now. And it was so great that UTR came together and the Tennis Channel and Oracle and decided to have this small event for you know, me, Allie, Amanda, and Isla. We enjoyed every second of it, and it was unfortunate that we got rained out at the end. But we were also glad that we were able to actually get some competitive matches in.
Well, the good news is that things are continuing to progress, and there is a bigger event coming up in Charleston in a couple of weeks or so. What are you most looking forward to in that event? There's big names, be tougher competition, but it gives everybody an opportunity to come together and play and get some additional matches under those live situations. What are you looking forward to most here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just such a competitor. I'm really looking forward to getting out there and competing again, and just being around more of the women that I compete against. It was a little bit strange at the last event that, you know, it was me and only 3 other players. So this event is a little bit larger, so it'll kind of feel more realistic, I think, to a tournament. And just being able to get on the road, get a little road trip into Charleston, and yeah, just to feel normalcy again.
We're joined by Danielle Collins here on TC Live. Danielle, I know it's been about 18 months, but I'm guessing you still have some pretty vivid memories of that run you made at the Australian Open 2019. You beat 3 top 20 players en route to the semifinals, including then world number 2, Angie Kerber. Did you have a sense at all when that tournament began that, yeah, I feel pretty good, I might be ready to make a run at one of these things?
Yeah, I think the year before I had made semis in Miami and had a good run at Indian Wells and played great tennis and beating top players. So I had the confidence knowing that I could have a good tournament. I just kind of needed some things to fall into place for me. And luckily I went out and performed my best. But yeah, I mean, people always say, oh, well, you didn't win you didn't win any Grand Slam matches before that. And really, I had only played, maybe 3 or 4 Grand Slam matches before that because I turned pro when I was 22. So I'm relatively new to the tour, and I think it was a surprise for everybody. But I had some good results the year before, and I was just playing out of my mind. So I kind of knew going into it I had a good chance of doing well.
Yeah, you hadn't won any slam matches before. Might as well win your first 5 all at the same tournament, which is what you did. We showed a bunch of cutaways during those highlights of you, fist pumping and doing your thing. People love watching your play. They love watching your on-court vibe. Some people describe it as fiery. Some people describe it as intense. How would you describe you on the court?
Yeah, I think I'm competitive. I think this is what I love to do. I love to compete, and I think people describe it in different ways, and it's tough as a woman. I think playing in a sport that has been dominated by men for a long time, and I think yes, maybe sometimes it's hard for people to accept my demeanor on court and my feistiness, but I'm true to who I am, and I'm true to what I'm doing, and I go out and I just try to be the best competitor that I can be.
We love everything about your on-court demeanor. You be you. Don't change anything. Congrats on all the success. Stay safe, and we'll see you in Charleston, Danielle.
All right. We'll see you there. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.